What up, guys? Dr. Pinesett here. I'm at the hospital. I'm on call tonight, and I'm on my dinner break right now. And I only get one dinner break. I'm doing a super long lung transplant right now. And I had to get on here because I get sick of opinions. I feel like everyone wants to have an opinion, but no one wants to do the work to make their opinion valid and actually help people. What is up, guys? How's it going? So was it Geraldo, Sharanjit, hello, Matab. So everybody wants to have a freaking opinion. And so I get sick of people commenting and emailing me, telling me that I'm full of crap, when in reality, guys, we all know the truth, right? I bring real. And everybody wants to have their whole preconceived notion kind of established and founded. So tonight's a bit of a rant. So everybody stand pat, right? Because I'm fired up tonight about people being idiots on the internet. So everyone understands that I hate YouTube. I hate social media. I hate that it's so easy for people to put up information and claim that it's fact and make it seem legitimate when it's not. It's their opinion. It's terrible, right? And you mentioned, so Sharon G said, I hate when people without credentials give advice. The other thing I hate is people who flaunt their credentials like they mean something. So when I first started out doing this, do you know what someone told me? Someone said, well, you shouldn't be advising students. You're not a certified coach. You're not a certified counselor. And I said, well, let me know where to get a certified counselor thing and I'll get one, as a joke. And so they sent me back this thing like, oh, there's the Council of Premed Counselors of America. There's the counselors of whatever. And I was trying to explain to this person that to be a certified counselor, all you have to do is pay money. You can give $75, $100 for a membership fee, and they tell you that you're a counselor. That's it, right? What does it take to be on a medical school admissions committee? Does everybody? So this is underground background information that people don't understand. What does it take to be on a medical school admissions committee? If you were to guess, oh my gosh, you're this amazing person who cares so much about admissions. You're such an expert. All this stuff. Did you guys know that they actually have to select people and force them a lot of times to be on the admissions committee because nobody wants to be on it? And why don't they want to be on it? Because it doesn't pay you any money. It's completely volunteer. So it's like people volunteer or they select you because nobody wants to do it because it's extra administrative work that you don't get paid for. You do not get paid to be on admissions committee. Then, right, so they select you, you know nothing about admissions, or you volunteer and you know nothing about admissions. You know they train you up for medical school admissions to select people, right? So your medical school life hangs in the balance on your application. Do you know how they train these people? They give them a packet and they do a workshop. They do a workshop talking about admissions and give them a packet and say, hey, you're equipped to determine whether people get into medical school. And that's terrible, right? But it's good in a way. So it's bad in the fact that they don't know anything about admissions. And so all the people claim like, oh yeah, my advisor, he was on an admissions committee, he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything. Furthermore, right, if you think about it, even if he does, so say he knows medical school admissions. The other question I would ask you is, it's one thing to know, right, the requirements to get into medical school. It's another thing to be able to get someone to instruct them in how to not only meet those criteria, but exceed them, right? So it's the how. And we were talking about this on my webinar, my study. We had a webinar for my students from my study course, and I was saying that there's this great book that if for you guys out there who want to learn about studying, there's this book called Make It Stick, and it's written by a guy. I read a lot of his articles. He's really great. But my beef with him and all the other people who write about learning and studying is that it's always the what. Like, oh, it makes sense to like do lots of repetitions. It makes sense to study actively. It makes sense to take quality notes. Of course it does. But my question to everybody is the how. And that's what separates me from the rest of these clowns on the internet. So, for example, the reason that got me fired up today is somebody commented again on this Caribbean video. Everybody's hung up on the Caribbean schools. Everyone wants to go to the Caribbean schools. That's their like one shot to go to medical school. So they want to go to the Caribbean and they want everyone to back them up on the fact that the Caribbean is legit. And I won't do it because the facts don't support it. So this clown, this character said in his comment, everyone don't listen to Dr. Pinesett. He's full of crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Everything is garbage that he says. So then I continue reading his post, and I want you guys to go. I'm actually going to screenshot this. I'll put this on my social media so you guys can see this guy's comment. But what he says is exactly what people do. He's like, it's garbage. You can go to Caribbean school and get into residency in America. I went to University of something in Italy. So right from the beginning, his whole premise is flawed because he didn't go to school in the Caribbean. He went to school in Italy, which is entirely different. Then, right, follow that up. He went to medical school in Italy. He then did a orthopedic surgery residency in Italy. So he did a residency to be an orthopedic surgeon. Very competitive in America, right? So he did residency there. He then wanted to come to America. Do you think he could come straight across and practice in orthopedic surgery? Hell no, you can't go from residency elsewhere and come here in America and practice. It doesn't work that way. So what he had to do was he had to go do a physical medicine residency here in America to be able to practice in America. Now, so let me clarify and let me ask you guys a question. In all my videos about the Caribbean, when I bash the Caribbean and the foreign schools, did I ever say that it was impossible to go from a foreign school or a Caribbean school to an American residency? I never said that. I said, of course you can do it. I have friends who've done it. My point is, it's a much more difficult, much more treacherous path. So if you don't have to go there, don't go. I then followed that up, right? Because I give you guys advice. I don't just criticize, oh, Caribbean schools suck, don't go there. I then give you, right, the alternative. I say, well, listen, if your only option is a Caribbean medical school, fine. Make the decision and say, listen, I want to be a doctor, I will go. But then if I go, I need to have a sound plan to get back to America, which is, again, what I laid out in the video, which no one wants to pay attention to. I said, you got to figure out how you're going to get your studying together, how you're going to get your self-discipline together, how you're going to get your maturity together if any of those things are lacking. That way you can make sure that you rock your USMLE Step 1 to get back for residency, because that is your only shot. The people who talk about, oh yeah, I went to foreign school and I came to America for residency, of course there's people who do it. But if you really ask them, they scored exceptionally on Step 1. That's the only possible way you can do it. And my whole thing to you is, why would you want to put yourself in a position where you have to flat out beat all these other smart people on a test that you may not be equipped to beat them on? Why not make it a little bit easier for yourself? Less loopholes, less tests, less licensing issues by going to an American medical school. Why is that so hard for people to grasp and listen to? So let's take a step back. So now I say that. So let me ask you guys, if you had the option, would you rather go to an American DO school and be able to go and do an American residency and then be able to practice? Or would you rather go to school, in this guy's case, in Europe, then do, right, which is 6 years of medical school out there, then follow that up with an orthopedic surgery residency in Europe, then come to America and do another residency, which doesn't allow you to do surgery. And this is the other thing, right? Physical medicine rehabilitation, don't let people fool you. Physical medicine, oh my gosh, that sounds crazy. Physical medicine orthopedics. Physical medicine, there's nothing wrong with it. But physical medicine and rehabilitation is not a competitive field. The research shows this, and you guys can look it up. So my point and my question to you and to this guy is, what sense does it make? Why would you sit here and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when you went and did a foreign medical school, which took you 6 years instead of the 4 that would take you here? Then you did a residency there, and then you still couldn't practice here, and you do another residency, not in your chosen specialty, but in a whole different specialty. So now you've trained as a surgeon, and you can't even do surgery here in America. So who's the sap, and who knows what they're talking about? And it pisses me off to no end, because there's people out there who want to give you an opinion based on one freaking article. That's why I hate YouTube. Because everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm a study expert because I read one article on studying. Cats, I have read more articles than you'll ever read in your life about studying. I can smoke anybody in this world if you really want to have a serious discussion about studying, and this is what happens. So it's hilarious because everyone thinks they're an expert until they're not, right? It's like the reverse of that, right? Everybody thinks you're crazy until you're not crazy. People are like, oh, you're crazy. How can you know all this stuff about studying, about interviewing, about MCAT? How can you know all this stuff? You're just a doctor. I'm like, Kath, doctor's my side gig. You guys don't understand. I'm deep. I'm all about learning. I'm all about bettering myself. Because I was taught growing up from my father, who's a black male, that as a black man in America, the only way you can raise yourself up and raise your family up is through education. Because the only thing that people can't control is your mind. It's the only thing people cannot ever shut you down. If you have the knowledge and the intellect and you can translate that into words, no one can say shit to you about anything. Because it's all knowledge, it's all out there. No one can ever shut that down. They can never ever say, oh, your brain isn't what it is. No, my brain is what it is, and I'll use it as a powerful tool. A powerful tool to break walls down, to make stuff happen. And so my point to you guys is I can walk into a room, right? So everyone wants to be an expert, everyone wants to call me crazy. So this has happened at a couple schools where Someone at a school will want to bring me in for a talk. And then, literally, I was supposed to go to an Ivy League school a couple months ago. And this is really what got me off. So now I'm not doing, you guys will see my calendar is pretty barren for this year. I'm not willing to go out and do these stupid events anymore where I have to placate with people. I don't think we have to do that anymore. I think you guys like it when we can get on webinars. We can just talk and I can give you guys real advice. When you guys get in my courses and get real, unfiltered, raw advice where I don't have to sugarcoat it for people's feelings. So I was supposed to do a talk at this Ivy League school. They wanted me to come out there, whatever, the Dean's department. So then, a couple weeks before it was supposed to go down, the quote unquote learning expert at the school was like, hey, why are you bringing this guy in to teach learning? I teach learning. And he says that learning styles don't exist, but we teach learning styles and it's amazing. So they said, oh, we can't have you in because you're not teaching research-based things. So then I said, okay, I'll tell you what. And I sent them a packet. Of over a dozen articles, scientific published journal articles that state that learning styles don't work. When I sent that package, you know what everybody said? Oops, I guess he's not crazy. Oops, I guess he is the expert. And I said, I refuse to come there now. I'm done with you guys. This is the person you guys hire that sets up everybody's future. This is the person telling people how to study. And they don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know. And it's so sad. I hate it. It pisses me off because we live in a society where everybody is superficial. Everybody wants to get on a YouTube video and learn everything there is to know about studying. So a perfect example, so last week, I did a video on YouTube and everybody was like, hey, listen, I want to take your courses, I love your stuff you do, but I need a discount. And I don't hate on students, right? I'm always trying to improve everybody. So we had a bunch of people on the stream. I said, listen, okay, if you guys email me right after this, you guys can get a discount. So you guys email for up to an hour. People emailed me for 2 days. Every single person who emailed me for a discount got a discount. I didn't ask any questions. Here's the discount, all that good stuff to help you out. At the same time, you know what I do? Because I always check on people, right? Because I like people who are committed and who are thorough and who are passionate. So I went and checked to see who signed up, right? Some people were saying, oh, I can't afford your $450 study course. Can you discount it for me? I then went and checked and cross-referenced and said, okay, how many of these students who are asking for a discount on my $450 course have taken my $9 course? And out of all those people, very few of them have taken my $9 course. So what does that tell me? That these people are not committed to the process. Because if I have $250 to spend on a study course, I've got $9 to spend on a course that's going to help change my mindset to prepare me for that $20 course. And this is how superficial you guys are. It's hilarious. I'll release these videos, right? And we'll have in some of these Wednesday streams, we'll have 500 people on here going throughout the hour, right? And these views will get 1,000 views in a week. But if you go back and you look at my first videos, right? So for example, I have a whole video. It's an hour-long video on learning with mental frameworks. That video has less than 500 views. Yet that hour-long video is pure study magic. But nobody watches the video because everybody's not thorough. They want to watch one of my videos and email me and ask for study tips. But if they were just a little bit more thorough, right, and took the time and watched all my YouTube videos, they'd be in a much better spot. Let alone if they went and took my $9 course. So what I'm trying to tell everybody is it's so important. Forget everybody. It's easy to criticize, easy to say that I don't know what I'm talking about. It's easy to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, that you're not good enough, that you can't make it, and all the reasons why you can't go to medical school, why you can't be great. Anybody who tells you you can't do something and doesn't offer you a solution, tell them to F off. Tell them to get out your face. Matter of fact, don't even tell them to get out your face. Just push their forehead. Just push it back and say, off me, demon, right? Because it's ridiculous if all you have, it's easy to criticize. All you have is negativity. It's easy to be negative. That's why we live in a world of negativity and people tearing people down, because it's easy to be a naysayer. What's harder to be is a solution finder, is to be a positivity spreader, to be someone who spreads possibility to people. I don't understand why you guys listen to people who want to put you down but don't offer you a hand up. And the perfect example is I went to UCLA. I did this talk at UCLA. And because the talk ran so long, we were planning to do a couple hours, we did so long, I got so into breaking these people down and breaking their mindset down. As you guys who take my classes, you guys know, I'm all about breaking down the confines of your mind and what you think is possible and what you've been doing, right? Because everyone operates under these principles that they feel, these assumptions they feel are true. And they're not always true. And so it's my job, before I can give you real facts, I have to break down everything you thought was true. And so we spent all this time and I was breaking these students down and telling them how they weren't anything. And then I was trying to build them up and I didn't have enough time. So then I asked UCLA if I could come back the next week and do another couple hours to then show them solutions. And so what happened is it was amazing to see people's lights go on, because I literally went to UCLA, and these are high level people. It's a great program. They're around all these deans, all these other people, and people still feel hopeless. They spend all this time getting information from deans, admissions counselors. They're getting a Kaplan MCAT course. They all still feel hopeless. And the reason they still feel hopeless is because they're not independent. They don't have the ability to make stuff happen on their own. And when you're reliant on other people, it makes you feel crappy. It makes you feel concerned. It makes you feel uncertain. It makes you feel nervous, because you realize if that person I'm relying on decides to abandon me, I'm done. And so what I did for 2 hours, I tried to explain to them. I came in there and I said, listen, you guys are all powerful the first time I was there. And they couldn't grasp why they were all powerful, because they're so used to depending on everybody else. So then I said, all I came here to do today for 2 hours is solve your problems. Solve your problems. I had one of my shirts with my sayings on it, and it had just the solution on it. And we did 2 hours of, I said, any problem you got right now, none of you guys are plants. I don't know what you're gonna ask me. I said, any problem you got right now, I'll solve it in 10 minutes. And we went for 2 hours and some odd minutes, and every single problem someone presented that said was impossible, we solved in under 10 minutes. And it's not because, right, you can solve anything with no practice and no prep, but guys, I'm so thorough, it's a joke. I know too much. You can never, like, when you know the admissions process in and out, when you know studying in and out, when you know what it is about motivation, how our mind works, our psychology, what causes depression, when you know all these things in and out, and I'm not an expert in everything, but I'm an expert in what I say I'm an expert in. And so when you know all these processes in and out, there's never a time where you're at a loss. That's why I can get on here, and you guys will see this. No one else does live streams. Nobody else does live streams because they don't have the intellect, the capability, the knowledge to go beyond the initial 3-minute YouTube video. And you guys sit here and you watch all these 3-minute videos from people, and you don't realize they don't have a 4th minute. Oh, the study tips that allowed me to get through college. Check these out. Get notebooks. Notebooks are important, right? Stupid stuff, and they gave you 3 minutes. And you think this is amazing, but they don't have a 4th minute. They don't have a 4th minute. And it's like, it's like Trump. And whatever your political affiliations are or whatever, right? And I actually do a talk where I talk about how Trump could have actually made great things happen. And I talk about why he should have won the election, because he did a much better job of selling himself than Hillary. And I use him as a medical school interview outline of what to do. But with Trump, no one paid attention to the fact that Trump was very, right? He's very confident. He's very outspoken. He's got all these great, right, one-liners. But no one ever thought to themselves, well, wait, what's the second line? Does he have a second line? And I saw an article this week where they talked about that he's had, they counted up all the tweets he's had. He's had like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of, he's like thousands of tweets since he's been in office. Yet has not passed one major piece of legislation. The perfect example of what I'm talking about when people in Premed and Trump, while we're at it, is repealing Affordable Care Act. Not Obamacare, which is what the Republicans labeled it to demonize it as the black man's healthcare plan, called Obamacare, make it negative associated with Obama. Yet, if you go back and look at the origins of the Affordable Care Act, it's actually a Republican healthcare plan from 20 years ago that was picked up after the Republicans left office and Clinton was in office by Hillary Clinton, and she couldn't get it through, and Obama was such a smooth mover that he was able to get it through. But let's take a step back. So Trump is like, oh, Affordable Care Act is the worst. It's killing Americans. Let's repeal it. Great. Easy to be negative. But now, what do you have in its place? Still waiting, right? Still waiting to see what the plan is. What's the plan? So I just encourage you guys, please, 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 go beyond. Ask people beyond the initial line to give you advice. I don't understand. I guess I do, right? Because we always want the easy route. But if you take the time to really push yourself, what I try to do in all my classes, in all my coaching sessions, and everybody I work with, I stress the power that you guys all have within yourselves. And the reason I stress this is because it's important to strive to be independent. I tell you guys to become your own experts, to become your own tutors, your own study, like everything. Because then you're not reliant on me or anybody else, and you are infinitely powerful. I don't seek to make you dependent on me, right? Like all these companies do. Oh, come to me and get this one thing that helps you with this one thing. The reason my study course is $450 for you cats that don't know is because it's a complete system. It's 8 hours that breaks down a complete system that allows you to be an independent student. In addition, we have webinars that expand on even other points. But the whole goal is not for you to need me forever. It's for you to take this course and be like, holy crap, I can be a better studier, a better student than everybody around me working myself. Wait, you're telling me that I can make myself the best studier around? Wait a minute. What? Think about that, right? My interview course. The reason it is $200 is because it's not just a medical school interview course. It is a life interview course. It's how you network, shake a proper hand, etiquette when you're in someone's office, etiquette when you're at a dinner or a luncheon meeting, etiquette when you're in a group setting, right? How you present yourself and sell yourself and market yourself for jobs, for research opportunities, for everything. So if you take that course, you know how to sell yourself in every single walk of your entire life. It's a life-changing course. It's a life-changing course. My MCAT course. Why is it the cheapest course on my website? Because it's one thing. It's an MCAT course. It'll help you on the MCAT. Great. But then after the MCAT, you still got to do well in medical school, which is why my study course is so much more expensive. It is what it is. So I just hope that you guys take the time out and stop listening to all these idiots out here who have you gassed up, who have you going 1,000 miles per hour in the wrong direction. They don't know what they're talking about. And someone just got on here right now and commented and said, this guy is full of crap. Okay, great. I'm full of crap. So now what's your alternative? Sunny Barad Wash. Give me an alternative, Sunny. Tell me how I'm full of crap and give me an alternative fact or an alternative strategy because you're so intelligent, Sunny, because you know so much. I'd love to hear it, Sunny. Go ahead. We'll wait. We're a big group here. We'll wait. Oh, and now here comes the N-words again. So see, again, right? So it's easy to be negative. It's easy to be negative. But where is your alternative? I love it, guys. Do you see how truth sticks to the wall and all the bullshit falls away? Do you guys see this? If that's all you can come back with, if you can't give me anything real other than telling me that I'm full of crap, I love it. It's so amazing, guys. It's so amazing. So anyway, this was just a rant. I've got to go back to work. I'm now like 15 minutes late. That's you guys can't see it. I just got texted because I'm out the room for way too long. But it's ridiculous. It drives me freaking nuts because you guys don't understand how these people are the fabric of the society that tears you guys down, that denigrates you guys, that makes you guys feel like you're not enough and that you're not capable. They make you feel like you don't have what it takes to be what you want to be. And I'm here to tell you guys, and it was one of the greatest things that I've ever heard from both my parents. And you guys know I don't come from a lot of money, but what I came from was a lot of support. My mom and my dad were there for me 1,000%. And every single time I needed a word of advice, a word of wisdom, they always gave it to me. And I'll tell you guys one story and then I'm gonna get up out of here. But the perfect example of this is my dad, I went and tried out for a basketball team. And I tried out for this basketball team and I went out there and I was doing stuff and I was getting destroyed. And essentially, to fast forward the story, my dad just let it go on and he let me get dogged out by these guys who were literally killing me for like 2 hours. He just let it keep going and I kept looking to him like, can you get me out of here? I'm clearly not qualified. And he let these guys abuse me for 2 hours. Just destroyed my whole, like I came in feeling so confident about my basketball skills. These guys destroyed me for 2 hours. And then afterward he was like, listen, how did that feel today? And I was like, I felt terrible. And I was like, you're a kid and like losing in a basketball game, it could be like, pickup and it's like the world's worst thing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole life is over. I lost in a basketball game and you got to beat me up in practice, right? I'm a little girl, right? And my dad said to me, he's like, listen, And this happened on multiple occasions. So I'm a hard head. I can't get it the first time. But he said to me, he's like, listen, in life, you can be the hammer or you can be the nail. Today you were the nail and you got your ass beat. And you got your ass beat because you're not as good as you think you are. And in life, if you want to be the hammer, you've got to always have a mentality that you're never as good as you think you are. And you've got to always be working harder and smarter than everyone else around you. And as a child growing up, for that moment, I was like, yeah, you're right, I gotta work my game. And so from that day, right, and my dad, he wanted me to be independent. So he didn't take me out and shoot hoops with me. You know what he did? He got me a basketball and he got me a hoop. And he said, here, it's your responsibility. If you wanna be great, it's your responsibility to get out here and practice. And every single day I would go out there and shoot jumpers, shoot jumpers, shoot jumpers. Work on my handles, 2 balls, left hand, right hand. And I was an amazing basketball player, guys. Not an exaggeration. I ended up being an amazing basketball player. But the whole point is, it was that pain of feeling what it's like to be underprepared and to recognize your skills are not there and to not be able to execute. And so all throughout my life, I've had so many what people will call failures. And even that day, it's not a failure to me because it was an opportunity for me to recognize all those things have led to the person I am today, where I don't settle, where I'm not satisfied, where I won't just take the status quo. I won't let you tell me that something is impossible because nothing is impossible. There's a solution for everything, but you have to have the confidence in yourself to say, listen, I can solve any problem, and therefore I can take my eyes off the problem and look for the solution. And I don't know about you guys, let me know if this is some of you guys, where you get so worried and so focused on the problem, you can't see a clear solution when it's there. You don't have, and then someone else has to come and tell you the solution. You're like, oh my gosh, why did I think of that? And the reason you didn't think of that is because you were so focused on the problem, how huge the problem was, how terrible, right? How awful everything is in your life that you couldn't see, right? The glass half full, the good in your life, the positive things. You guys, please, 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 keep your career in your hands. Even with me, I think we might have got disconnected there. But anyway, even if you guys think that I'm bringing the real, vet everything I say. I have no problem doing that because everything I say is founded in experience and research. It's not my opinion. So I just encourage you guys, be your own experts and quit listening to people who only have negative to say. If you don't have a solution for me, you don't have an opinion for me. All right? I'm out of here. This is my rant. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Actually, I'm going to go live tomorrow. So I'm not sure what time. Probably around noonish Pacific Standard Time. I'll go live tomorrow. I actually have a good topic I want to talk about. So anyway, Kasim, I got your email today. Thank you. And we're actually going to talk about that tomorrow a little bit. So thank you guys very, very much for being on here again. But just these ridiculous people got nothing and want to take everything. Later, guys.